'Cause yeah, sometimes we'll feel alone. In a second, I'll be right there. Turn around, let it rain. Turn around and let it rain on me. Don't you be afraid. Just follow me. You don't need no space.
Everyone, welcome back to PintheQ Productions, PintheQ Podcast. Again, bringing you something different in the fire service, and this one you're going to like. Jon, welcome to the show, brother.
Thanks for having me. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, no worries, man. I saw your product. I saw what you're doing. Pretty cool. Congratulations on the podcast, by the way.
Thank you.
You'll see it's a fun venture.
Yes, yeah. It's the best pain in the neck I've ever signed up for.
Yeah, exactly. But before we get any further, bro, why don't you introduce yourself, everybody?
Yeah, thank you. Hey, everyone. I'm Jon Vought, firefighter, paramedic. I currently hold the rank of lieutenant. I'm on the job in South Florida for 12 years. And I started a brand called Rescue One CBD. It's a CBD product specifically for firefighters that is safe for the job. So you can take it and not have to worry about failing a drug test.
Now, I'm sure you get these questions all the time because, you just said what everybody wants to hear, and that am I going to pass a drug test? This is all uncharted waters. So it's pretty interesting that you took a leap on this.
Yeah, that's exactly what it feels like sometimes, is that it is a leap. There is no one else that's sticking their neck out like we are, as far as saying we're making a product that we believe in 100% that you won't fail a drug test. And that's because the fire service is a little bit shaky on the CBD industry. It's kind of unknown. So yeah, that I would say that is our biggest question. That's the number one question, is will I pass a drug test if I take your product?
So Jon, before we go too far into the product, which I'm excited to learn more about it, tell me a little bit about how this all started for you as far as the fire service is concerned, because without this product, the fire service wouldn't be, right? So tell me a little bit about the journey.
Yeah, I had really bad foot surgery. I had to get my left ankle fused, which means now I can't move left and right anymore. I can only move up and down. And the rehab for that is the worst rehab. Well, it's the worst recovery that you could have as far as orthopedic surgery goes. And a lot of people don't go back to the job after they get it. So I found out that I was going to be on opiates for months, which I was, and it was tough getting off of them. I'm not ashamed to say it, that I had a dependency, and I had to go back to work. So, I quit cold turkey, after my last bottle ran out, and I could have gotten another prescription. And I was like, man, I don't like that I can't get off this. So I stopped and didn't ask for another refill, even though I was still in pain. And it was hard stopping that. And I thought to myself, how many other firefighters all over the country are, getting this exact same situation? You get hurt on the job, or you get hurt off the job, and you have to go through this recovery. They give you opiates because that's all we got. And then you go down a slippery slope, brother. It's dangerous. And so I discovered CBD after that. I wish I would have discovered it before, but my sleep was all messed up after stopping opiates. And going back to the job, at my house, at the house I was at then, running 3 to 6 after midnight is normal. And even if you run 1 after midnight, a lot of times you run none after midnight,
Right.
You'll still have bad sleep at the house. So my sleep was screwed up. So I found CBD, and it completely changed everything about the way I slept. And I realized that I was getting poor quality sleep, and I wasn't sleeping for long enough, and I got better sleep, and I slept for longer while taking it. And I thought to myself that this has to be a game changer for the fire service. But guys and girls are afraid of it out there, so I wanted to start a brand where they didn't have to be. So that's how we got started.
It's interesting when you talk about that slippery slope, because it is. And one, I know guys that got injured on a job and couldn't come back, and led to depression. It led to substance abuse, alcoholism, even suicide. So, when I think about this product and I think about how it could literally be a game changer, it's huge.
Yeah. And you know, it, you'll hear a lot of brands say the potential benefits, and it could be, and it's possibly, and we kind of dance around the idea that it is or is not. um, what we have in the fire service is a culture of, if you have an issue, you medically, or with sleep, with depression, with anything, you go to the doc, and they prescribe you something, and that's it. And the culture of the fire service is just like medicine in general, where if you have high cholesterol and you go to the doc, he doesn't sit you down and say, hey, look, we're going to come up with a diet plan for you. You should probably not eat high cholesterol foods. No, he's going to say, what kind of cholesterol medication do you want to go on?
Yeah, you're right.
And
It's sad.
right. And the same thing goes for sleep. If you have a sleep issue, he's not going to start to say, hey, change the way you watch TV at night, get off your device 3 hours before bed, start wearing blue light blockers to stop blue light from interfering with your REM sleep. No, he's going to say, do you want Ambien or Lunesta? you know,
Right.
and they don't even go down the holistic route. So, and the fire service in general, you could have a prescription for Ambien, which is a benzo, and test positive for benzos while you're working on the job, and that's okay. But they don't want you to take CBD because they're unsure of the legality of it. They're unsure of whether it gets you intoxicated. And I'm here to kind of stop that and change that.
So you took this on. Tell me what it's been for you personally on this journey, because it's got to be a lot.
Yeah, it is. And initially I was scared. I'll be honest. I was very nervous that I would get somebody to lose their job. Like, I was worried that I had a million what ifs in my head. Like, what if somehow the production got messed up? What if and we didn't take the THC out, or anything? It's completely illogical stuff because of how we produce it. I don't want to use the word impossible, and my lawyer definitely doesn't like me using the word impossible, but it's almost impossible to get THC in there, and we have so many redundancies. So, but that's how it was like, am I gonna be the cause of somebody losing their job? That was when I was gonna first start the company. And after visiting so many places and seeing, when we decided on the partner that we picked for farming, for extraction, it was because of how they make it, and I've never seen anybody else do it. And we can get into that in a little bit if you want, but my first instinct when I was starting it was fear. The reason we went with these people was because they were amazing, and we know that we make a safe product. But after that, after I kind of overcame that, and I saw that we were, just passing drug test after drug test, I developed this sense of pride, and now I'm just proud of what I'm doing. I told myself, if I could just help one person, that it would be worth it. And I've had so many people just call me out of the blue that I never met and say, this is what it did for me, X, Y, and Z, with my sleep, with my anxiety, with my pain, with anything. And I was like, man, if we shut the doors tomorrow, I'm good. I'm happy. So I'm really proud of what our whole brand has done to this point.
That's awesome. I literally was just going to say to you, have you had those reassurances, like those people call you and say, hey man, this is amazing, thanks so much?
Yeah, we get it often, and I love hearing it. Every time I hear it, it's like a reminder of what I'm doing. So
right, it's a lot of hard work. It pays off.
Yeah, exactly.
So what is it about this product that you're excited about? Tell me what it does for you.
For me, it changed my sleep completely, and that's just me. Obviously, the inflammation with my foot surgery is it's still there. My doc told me about 6 years until the pain completely wears off, and I get all my mobility back. So the regimen is important for me, just to keep inflammation down, and my sleep is awesome. And I could never have said that up until this point in my career, because I like working at a busy house. I don't like being up after midnight, but I like, I like running calls. So
Right.
that's part of it. Right. And but I want to be able to be healthy also. So that's what I get out of it personally. What I'm excited about is the fact that I think that we're probably going to be a big beacon for change in the fire service. And what I see myself doing is bringing this to national recognition. We're going to FDIC in August, and we'll be there trying to get the word out and to try to. Hopefully, it already got rescheduled once.
Right.
I heard Bobby Halton today talking on. We were in a clubhouse chat, and he was saying still on. So I'm optimistic, but yeah, hopefully we'll be there in August and we can get the word out. And if we can, I want to get a published medical study where we get 100 firefighters and we are going to test them, not only to show that it doesn't cause a failed drug test, but to show their improved sleep, their improved pain, their improved anxiety and stuff like that. So that's where I see the future of it in the short term. It's never been more exciting of a time to do it, because I think until we get something like that, I don't know if the fire service is going to be 100% like ready for it. We need some proof.
And anything new, us, that two things we hate are the way things are and change.
Yes, absolutely. Exactly.
So it's interesting to see. Are you starting to see it's a younger group of individuals that are on board with this, or are you starting to see it's all over?
It's actually mostly the senior guys and girls. It really is.
Wow.
And I think it's a combination of them being on the job long enough to have these problems. Like the rookies haven't messed up their sleep schedule yet.
Right.
They don't have the beat up knees, elbows, and shoulders yet, and the older guys and girls do. And also, I think they've been on the job long enough to have gone through what a surgery is like, what the recovery is like, what pain medication is like. They're like, I don't want to do that again. I want to change something here. They're ready for the change. I thought it would be the opposite. I thought like the newer generation would be more open to it, and
that's
the
what I
older
thought
would
too,
be
just
resistant.
because they would be resistant to it, because again, it's something new and it's not widely accepted yet. So I'm surprised, and I'm happy to hear that.
Yeah. Over the age of 40. That's our normal. And that's not old, but I mean, if you think about most people getting hired, in their early 20s, that's a long time on the job.
Yeah. So the CBD oil is also helps with inflammation.
That's so of all the research that's been done, and there's been an extensive amount, the second largest thing that's been researched is inflammation. So, and that's inflammation at its root cause. So not just from an injury, but when you stay up all night, it creates a lot of cortisol and it creates inflammation throughout your body, and that can be reduced by CBD, or inflammation from diabetes, inflammation from an inflammatory diet. All of that. It's oxidative stress is what they call it, and CBD reverses that. It's what's known as an antioxidant, so it stops that, but it stops inflammation at its root, which is really interesting because they did a recent study on ibuprofen, and they found that it raises endocannabinoids in your body, the same ones that CBD does.
No kidding.
So they found a similar mechanism of action between ibuprofen and CBD. And this is like, whenever I look at these studies, it's not like Jon Vought doing it in his basement. This is like Duke University, Cornell.
Right.
It's Harvard. It's real schools with real docs, and it's been going on for decades. So yeah, it is. It is a potent anti-inflammatory.
Now you're a firefighter just like me. Like, so what was it like to get this thing off the ground? Was there a lot of headache, a lot of startup, a lot of people telling you're crazy?
All of that. All of that. It's what financial industry calls a high risk industry, and So they put us in the same category as strip clubs, used car dealerships, smoke shops,
No kidding.
bail bonds. Yeah.
Wow.
So every time someone swipes a credit card for our product, we get charged a really high rate, like way more than anybody else would get charged. Like if you were buying, a sub sandwich, or something like that.
Yeah, I would never even know that. That's so interesting,
Right. And same thing, like I'm just a fireman. Like I would
Right.
not have known, like I had to educate myself on all this stuff. I went from, I have no entrepreneurial background, no experience in this stuff. And my fiance who helps me run the company she's a IT genius. She's really good with computers. So she was the website builder. I taught myself some marketing and some business stuff, and I just a lot of YouTube, man, and I started getting myself off the ground. And yeah, so a lot of people are like, not telling me I'm crazy, but they were like, "Hey, are you sure you want to do something in the cannabis industry with the fire service?" And I'm like, "It's not cannabis. It's it comes from a cannabis plant, but it's not marijuana." So it was a lot of a learning curve. There was a ton of headaches. I'm sure someone with a business background probably would have had it a lot easier, because they could have foreseen a lot of stupid mistakes. But that's part of the process, man. And I actually enjoy that. I like that side of it. I like learning sometimes the hard way, but yeah, there was no shortness. There was no small amount of headaches and problems that I had to have, for sure.
Well, just like, any startup is difficult, and especially with something like you have where you got to really sell this. It's not like you're selling a product someone wants to buy. You have to sell something that you have to teach people, educate them, make sure they know it's safe. And
Right.
once you get past that hurdle, I mean, that's a huge accomplishment where people trust you basically with their career.
Yeah, that's what it feels like. And I really want to convey that I know what people are trusting me with, and I try to be as personable as I can. It's impossible for me to get on the phone with every customer, or email them or anything, but I always try to, and I always try to be in contact because I want to be able to answer questions. I want to be able to talk as much as they want. Like just before this podcast, somebody called me and never talked to me before. They had like 20 questions about the product, and he was like apologizing for how many questions he had. And I'm like, no, this is what I'm here for. I want to be able to answer this stuff because, yeah, I think you hit the nail on the head. They're trusting me with their career, and it means a lot to me that they do that. But it doesn't go unnoticed because I pour my blood, sweat, and tears into making sure this stuff is perfect. And I won't put it on the shelf until it's been tested at least 3 times. So we always know it's clean.
Absolutely. And like you said before, these are your brothers and sisters out here. This isn't just a product you're selling on the shelf.
Yep.
So it certainly has a lot more meaning to you, as it is everyone else that's out there listening. Tell me about
Exactly.
the start of the fire service for you. How did you end up starting the fire service?
My mother is actually a firefighter paramedic, and she was my inspiration for starting when I got into the Explorer program, or like you guys have junior firefighters up there, and so I got into that when I was 15, and I thought I might like it, but I wasn't sure. So I was just like, let me try it out. Well, I spent 5 years in that program. It became my whole life. I mean, I'm one of those guys who's very, very into the job, super ate up. I love going to training. I love going to conferences. I've always been very, very passionate about the fire service, and it was because of her. Like she was my inspiration of getting into it. She actually today, she got a promotion, for what she says is going to be her last one. She got promoted from captain up to EMS captain. She's over in the Palm Beach County Fire Department.
Good for her.
And yeah, so just that's her like career achievement. She's like, I'm done. So she's going to spend a little bit more time there and retire soon. But that was my my direction, and the department that I got hired on was the same department I started in the Explorer program.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
and now I run the Explorer program, that same one that I started in.
I absolutely love that. You know, when you give
Yeah,
back like that, it's always way more rewarding than being in
it
the
is.
program itself. You know, when you're one day now in charge of the program, that's awesome.
Yeah.
So you're the
Yeah.
first brother I ever spoke to that had their mother start in the fire service. You're the first, man. It's pretty interesting.
Yeah, what's cool is the battalion that she worked in butted up against my city. So I've had instances where we've seen each other working together, or I see her at the hospital, or I'll run calls with her. So it's a very unique experience, yeah, for sure. But I've heard that before, where they're like, you don't really hear a son getting into it after their mother.
This is the first I've ever heard, but I got to tell you, man, she must be super proud of you. That's so cool. You guys got to see each other on calls. That's awesome.
Yeah, yeah, it was cool.
So you worked your way through the fire service, and you're an officer. So tell me about your promotion.
Um, yeah, it's different. I've been promoted for almost 5 years now, and so I've 12 years on the job total, and it it's different, man. It's like I sometimes I kind of miss riding in the back, and
Yeah,
it's
I
so
hear
much more fun, you know. uh, but I really like where I'm at because my crew is top notch, man. They 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 make me want to come to work, and
right.
I've seen them operate and make the difference in life or death. You know, I've seen them operate and make the difference on a fire, on an extrication, and I feel like a part of me is responsible for how that operation went, because you know I wanted to build that crew, and I never want to take responsibility for the positives. I always want to give those away, but you know, in the development of the crew and how we work together, that's where I'm like, all right, that when something good happens, like it's worth it. But yeah, like run of the mill stuff day to day, I do miss, you know, what we say wearing the gray shirt, because officers wear white shirts, and which I hate, and firefighters wear gray. So yeah, I sometimes I do miss wearing the gray shirt, but it's a unique challenge, man, and it's something that I think I needed to do at the time I was on the job, where I felt like I wanted to grow. But yeah, it's a lot. It's a totally different animal.
So I'm going to ask you a question that I'm sure you get asked all the time, and that is, how are you juggling your career, also being a fire officer, which you know has its own unique challenges, and then on top of that, the business? How you manage?
Yeah, and the Explore program. It's a lot. I have, for sure. I have, you know, 4 full-time jobs.
Yeah,
That's what it feels like. But you know, I feel like one makes me good at the other. Um, it's I'm reminded constantly of why I started this brand. You know, when I see people with struggles, with pain, with prescription medication, with you know, things that I think that we could help with, I'm reminded of it, and it's total motivation. So it is hard to juggle, especially coming off shift. But I remember why we got to do it, and you know, when I feel tired or anything else, you know, my love for the job is definitely my motivation to do more with the brand. And I want to, you know, I don't want to just be one of those guys who kicks his feet up at the station and doesn't train anymore because he's got a business. So when I work on shift, I put the computer down, man, you know, and just on the job. And that makes it really difficult if I didn't have the team that I have with the brand to help me with customer service, with packing and shipping orders and running. There's no way I would be able to do it, because 24 hours you know, I'm not answering the phone, I'm not answering emails, I'm not doing any of that stuff. So it is hard juggling it, but like I said, I absolutely love the challenge. I wouldn't trade it.
talk to me a little bit about your team. You know, you say that you have people helping you out, which obviously need that. Talk to me about that.
Yeah, my fiance is my go-to, and I'm not just saying that because I have to, because I know she'll listen to this.
Right.
You know, she really is like everything I've done with design, with the website, with big ideas, I have to bounce off her first. She's very intelligent, and you know, so as far as the big picture stuff, that's her. But I actually we're kind of a family business. My father and my sister help me with day-to-day stuff. So they're full on into it, and two of the guys I work with also work with me on the brand as well. So
There it is right there. I knew
that,
that was going to happen because, you know,
oh yeah,
yeah, you always got the brothers at the house that want to help out.
yes,
So it's good that
yes,
it's a family business. So it truly is a family business.
yep. Both families, my family at the house and my you know related blood family, and they make it happen, man. So it's a little bit of overlap where they know how to do everything that I can do. I'm just I need to be the guy that's the face of the company. Unfortunately, I didn't want to do that, but we talked about it so many times where it was just a matter of somebody has to be the face to so guys and girls can trust what we're doing, and to be able to look at somebody in the eye and ask them the questions, the hard questions. And I'm the person who's been researching it the most and knows the most about the product. So I'm the guy who does that, you know.
How,
So
how
aside
many
from
how
that,
many
yeah,
years
that's
you
it.
have into this so far? I mean, like total years.
Three total. It was a year of building, and then we've launched for 2 years. So
How nervous were you when you finally said, "All right, we're going to do this. We're going to launch this. We're going to see what happens"? I mean, you must have been terrified.
I was terrified. Yeah. I didn't know if we were going to fall flat on our face. I don't, you know, I didn't know how well it was going to be received by the fire service. I didn't, you know, and I've never, you know, run a business. So it was a lot of unknowns in a brand that, you know, it's an uphill battle to get CBD into the fire service anyway. So yeah, it was nerve wracking, but worth it.
Tell me what your 5-year plan is. I know it's a difficult question, but what do you see in the future, even not 5 years, but just in the future for your company?
Yeah, for me it's an easy question. I'm always thinking like 5 years and then 10 years where we want to be. In 5 years, I want to have the IAFF say that CBD is safe for firefighters to use. That's my main goal. And I don't care if it's my brand or not. I don't care if we're even around then. I want to make enough of a change so that the IAFF would come out and basically say that, you know, you guys don't have to put any kind of language in your contract that says that this is anything contradictory. Like it's totally safe for the job.
Well, an endorsement from that, you know, FMBA, IF, all of it. It's just a huge
Yeah.
endorsement. So something were to happen. I mean, that right there is when you know you made it, and when it's trusted by the community.
Yeah, exactly. And you know, it's one thing if I'm telling people you're safe to take it. Um, I'm selling the product, so immediately, not that I'm not trustworthy, but people are going to immediately assume that. Of course, I'm going to say that. I'm not going to say, no, this stuff doesn't work. You know, I wouldn't be doing this if it didn't. And but when it gets proven safe, and obviously the 5-year plan of having the IFF do that means that I need to do 100 things for it to get there. I have to
Of course.
have a published medical study that says this stuff doesn't cause a failed drug test, because there is none so far. I have to have years of past drug tests. I have to have a ton of confidence, and to get the buy-in from people, you know, that are working in the IFF and universities and researchers and all kinds of stuff. So, you know, it's not going to be for nothing, and we're only going to get there by having a truly high quality product. But like I said, it doesn't even matter if it says Rescue One or not. Doesn't matter if we're in business or not. I know what the stuff's going to do for the fire service, and you know, there's probably going to be more than one brand for firefighters. You know, there's plenty of reputable brands out there. It's just none of them say you can take this and pass a drug test. So that's the kicker, you know.
Brother, tell me how you can get this product. How did these individuals get on here and how do they order it?
Yeah. The best way to order it is omnianaturals.com, OMNIA naturals.com. And you'll see on there that we have our lab tests where you can see how everything is checked, the process that we do to make sure that there is no THC in there. And when we say no THC, that means it's non-detectable levels. It's 0.000%. So it's 0 parts per million of THC. And then, the ordering process is very easy. So you can just check out like you would any other website, throw in your credit card information.
And brother, what if someone has a question about the product and, they're watching this episode right now or listening to it and they say, I got a couple questions. I'm interested, but I have a couple questions. How can those be answered?
Yeah, we have a few ways. You can, if you're listening here and you want to go onto our website, you can chat with us live on the website. You can reach out to us on any of our social channels, on Instagram, on Facebook. You can email me, Jon, Jon, at rescue1cbd.com. I even give people my personal number, call, text, whatever you got. It's area code 561-570-5233. And that's my cell phone number. I put it out there to anybody that has questions because I need you guys to know that, I'm here to answer the hard questions, whatever you guys got.
Well, that right there is enough for me. I mean, if you're going to give out your personal number, that's huge.
Yeah.
Brother, before I let you off the hot seat, is there anything you'd like to add, or is there anyone you'd like to thank?
Yeah. First of all, thank you for having me on here, man. I haven't really been on a podcast, a large podcast before. I've had a couple, and I do appreciate the faith in having me on here and everybody that's listening.
Absolutely.
So that's pretty cool. And my family who helps me to run this, my fiance and my team, I couldn't do without y'all.
That's great, bro. And it's good thing you said that because you're going to be in trouble otherwise.
Exactly. Are you married? You must know how this drill works.
I'm telling you always got to give recognition where it's due. So,
right.
Brother, I thank you for coming on the show. I'm excited about learning more about the product. I know that people are going to go onto the website and check it out. It's cool that you gave your personal number. I think that says a lot about you as an individual, but also about the company that you're trying to get out there. So, ladies and gentlemen, if you have any questions about this, you know how to get a hold of this man. This is one of our brothers. Check out his product, see what he has to offer, and we'll be back for more episodes coming soon.